What I have is my personal knowledge and opinion. Only law is universe. Hey, I'm Shay, and this is Hey Shay, come talk to me. I just don't think that you all understand how much getting your rest is important. All these things that you are trying to chase or trying to maintain will probably still be here when you're gone. So with that being said, I think you are the one who needed to be tended to a lot more than these things. They have longevity. You don't know if you do. You don't really know if you do. And one way to just help people. Now, let me say this, because not everyone can get the rest that they actually may want to get. Let me take the word rest, because that's really not it. Sleep. So sleep and rest, two different things. Some people don't get the amount of sleep that they would like to get. Understood, many different factors as to why that is what it is. But rest. Ooh, they don't like to talk about this one. Rest starts here. Let me say it again. Rest starts here, because guess what? You can lay down in the bed and say, I'm just going to rest here. You can lay down in the bed, and if your body and your mind is still active, you're still thinking about what you have to do, you're still stressing about bills, you're still stressing about this, you're still thinking about that, you want to know what kind of shoes you're going to get, you're still thinking about all these type of things, worried about your mate, your partner, whoever, but these things are going through your mind while you're laying in the bed. And they can also rev up more energy within the body, ultimately, because I mean, all work together. But you can't truly rest until your mind is at ease. And that's the real reason why a lot of people don't rest, nor do they sleep, because they are active mentally. That can be from various different things you're worried about in your day-to-day life. Whether that be, oh my God, the grass need to be mowed. I'm the only person who worried about it. The grass gonna be mowed. The grass to be this high before somebody go out there and do, oh, I gotta do da 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 da. Either you're gonna mow the grass or you're not. You can stress about it or you cannot. Because guess what? Nature is gonna be nature. Nature is gonna do what it's gonna do. It's pretty predictable for the most part. So you should worry about you. Take a moment, just relax your mind. Right? Because again, ultimately you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. But don't stress yourself. Oh my God, my car no due. They're gonna come repo my car. I'm pretty sure you knew ahead of time. Or you knew things was happening leading up to you not being able to pay your car note. Or you knew that you didn't have enough money in your account, in your savings, or just in your account in general, that if something did happen to where you couldn't work, then you would be losing things that you have, right? The thing is, the more you can learn how to calm down, be more at ease mentally, and learning how to go from a high to a calm level, the more you work on that, like anger issues, quickly angered, quickly, like it takes nothing to get you on 100, 0 to 100 real quick. Like, that's really not that cool. Like, that's not cool at all. That's horrible, actually, because you should have better control. And of course, some things are harder for some people than others. And people talk about mental illnesses, right? That is a real thing. All of us technically are really mentally ill, in some way or another. It's just the level, right? The level of illness, because there's levels to everything. We have to work on ourselves. If you are someone who's quite conscious and quite aware and quite able, mentally, physically, working on self is a thing, but you have to see yourself. It always goes back to seeing yourself, knowing your habits. Because when you can see, or when you know, okay, anytime this happens, it's because this, or this occurred before. And this is almost something that always happens. And how do I always react? What do I always do? Because it's 9 times out of 10 a always thing, you know? It happens every time. Every time they do this or someone does this, you do this. So you have to see when you're being challenged spiritually. And when you let things upset you, when you let things get under your skin, when you worry about things that in hindsight are really not that important, but you have made up in your mind that it's important, but on the same token, if you flip it over and it's no longer that important to you, meaning in your mind you haven't put it up on the shelf as being this grand thing, just like people, then all of a sudden that status just fades away. It's no longer that important. And that's the same thing with almost anything in life. So what you deem as important is a perspective thing. So if you allow these things to worry you, keep you up at night, you'll never get rest. If you don't get rest, you will never have true peace. You won't be able to relax. You won't be able to get quality sleep. And when you can't get quality sleep, when you can't get quality rest, even if you're just laying down on the floor, some people don't even know how to stop for a moment to just lay down without thinking about anything. You start to lose hair. You start to either lose or gain weight. You start to be reckless a lot of times. You start to make these very irrational decisions. You start to truly just form and become a different version of yourself, and it's not always the best. People around you start, noticing certain things as well, because it's affecting them also. It affects the immediate people, like the people who's closest to you. When you're not getting rest, you feel anxious. A lot of times, even in households with parents and children, right? The parents stressed at work, come home, has to take care of things, not getting rest, not taking a moment for themselves, stressing over little things. It becomes tedious things they start to worry about. And then you think about a relationship where they talk about a woman will be arguing with you about one thing, but truly she's upset about something completely different. That's kind of how it is. When you truly are just revved up every day and you're not getting enough rest, and you're constantly prioritizing everything but yourself. You're prioritizing everything but yourself. You resent other people because, for example, you up, you're doing this, you're doing that, you here, you there, but then you say you look at somebody else's life and they just look like they're just gliding through life. If it get done, it gets done. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And a lot of times, people like that, things fall right in the slot for them, right in the pocket for them, because they open themselves to allow things to come and don't feel like they have to have control over everything, which allows them to be peaceful, and that allows them to rest, to be rejuvenated, to be able to make better decisions, better choices between this, that, options. They actually have room to rest. They actually have room to have peace. So in order to truly rest, you have to have peace. Anybody can fall asleep but not truly get rest, truly rejuvenate, truly restore the body. And not getting rest not only affects your mental and your day-to-day life, but it also affects your health. You can be malnutrition. You're not eating the right things. You might be eating, but you're not eating the right things, or you're not eating at all. You're filling yourself with more toxins than you are with things that actually provide you with nutrition. We really have to start taking care of ourselves, honestly. Sometimes you can be restless and you overeat. And then when you do go to sleep, it's just piled. It's just piled on, you know. But truly, you can really, that's why heart attacks, you know, stress levels. You can lose your vision. Like, I don't think people really understand, like, the pressure, the amount of pressure in the body, like tension in the body. Every day I occur some type of tension in the body. So what it is that I do is I like to take a moment at night, the days, that's it, right before bed. I like to stretch. I hold a lot of tension in here, shoulders and then back on this side, all this up here. So what I have to do is make sure I'm stretching, giving this side a little more extra love and attention. But truly relaxing, you know, get your stretches in, do some workouts, meditating. Meditation requires you to be able to silence things around you and even that is within you, but naturally, you know. But in order for you to meditate truly, you have to sink into yourself, and it's an amazing thing. Like, I really want to, you never meditated, like, for real, like, ooh, the people who did some real meditating, they know, man. Like, when you take that moment to just, it's like you just drop into your body. It's like you're no longer giving your attention to paying attention to everything out here. You know how you hear a pin drop, or you hear something that boom, and then all of a sudden it's like when you're meditating, it's like you just drop into yourself and everything. It can be thunder, still just it's just an amazing thing. You'll know when you sink into yourself, when you just can feel your body vibrating. It can happen a few different ways. Sometimes you can just feel nothing, like you just nothing. And then sometimes it could be where you can literally focus on your body. You can just feel the little vibrations, little tingle wishes. It's an amazing thing. It's so peaceful. And it really allows you to understand how powerful you are and just how much you really can tap into some things, man, once you focus more on yourself and get out of everything that we see. I think for so long we've had blinders on, and we don't see things for truly what they are. You feel like you do, you think you do, but you don't see it for truly what it is. And not everyone is gonna get to the point where they are able to do that. That's just life. It's just life. But I just want to talk about, man, how important that rest is, because I don't think we really pay attention to that. I don't think we understand how kind of coincides. Like, things just go together. Like, if you don't do this, worrying about all of this over here, you ain't better do this. And a lot of stuff that you're worried about, again, are things that really aren't that important. And that is the one thing that someone told me. I've actually heard it. I heard it maybe 2 times when I first started my spiritual journey. It's so funny, but they're just talking about when you have your spiritual awakening and you understand that everything you thought was important really is not that important. Wow. Confirmation, huh? But no, all the things that you think hold so much value and hold so much weight, if you were to lose a lot of these things, you will see just how it wasn't that much of a necessity. People, places, things, all of that. But you honestly have to understand that it's all perspective based, right? So once you change your perspective on what is important to you, and you understand that a need is very different from a want, because you don't need 3 chairs if you only have 1 behind. You don't need 8 TVs and you only have 2 sets of eyes and you can only see 1 picture at a time. We have way more than what we truly need. And just because you think it's important to have 8 TVs in the house because you have different rooms where a TV can go in and there's only a couple of you, you know what I'm saying? Well, you gotta be able to watch this and you gotta be able to do this and we gotta be able to all be happy, right? But in reality, it's not that important to have all of that. And stop allowing people to make you feel like you should be at a certain point. And if you're not this, then it doesn't make sense. For example, for me, I'm going to be a minimalist. I'm really a minimalist. And when I say that, my home is not going to have that much in it. Only because I like decoration. I like design. I like things like that. But also, in my living space, truly, it can become a distraction for me. Interference for me. If it's not something that contributes to your happy place, your happy space. For example, my mother likes to design. She likes to do interior decorating. So for her, that's one of her happy places. She shouldn't stop doing what makes her happy, you know? But for me personally, it would be a little different. I would be going a different direction with something that makes me happy that she just might not care about, you know? So again, it's about what's important to you. But don't allow what you think is important in this 3D world to also have you out of here or crippled for too long. You know what I'm saying? Or out of here too soon, so to speak. But I'm done talking because, yes, make sure y'all get y'all rest. Make sure you all start loving on yourself more, taking care of yourself, so you ain't out of commission, so you can keep doing the things that you want to do. And even with a job, take your vacation and actually rest. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to thank you because you came here, you listened, and hopefully you take something from this video. Truly. You might have ran into it because you needed it, but for whatever reason you are here, you are here. check out any of my other videos. If you please subscribe if you would like to, like this video if you enjoy it,